meow, kitty. Kapoo. This one film festival, a long time ago before I ran off to Hollywood, they had this little Fort Worth film festival kind of thing. And this guy made this little film with a video camera about his ghost brother. This ghost brother that visits him, and he used Smash.
Watch out! Crash reported ahead.
He used Smashing Pumpkins, Space Boy in it, and I saw it. It was better than Linklater stuff. It was better than a lot of the filmmakers, all the trash that I saw in Hollywood and stuff. It's better. It was better, and no one distributed him or anything. But he presented it through his video camera. You know, it was presented through his video camera. I have to keep the camera down here for my safety. So I'm sorry about all, you know, I'm sorry, but this was a good film, you know, and it was his own little film, and he had his video camera, and he showed it, and it was shown through a VHS, and he put the VHS, you know, in this little projector, you know, it projected the movie. I don't even know if he might have showed it on a little television that he rolled out. I don't remember exactly how he showed it. It was this young kid, you know. I was like, I was jealous because he had a stable little almost feature that he did on the video camera. And of course he used Smashing Pumpkins. He used Space Boy, the song from Siamese Dream. It was great. It was great. He was a great filmmaker. Who knows where he's at? I'm sure he probably gave up. Because of distribution. You will give up because of distribution. I won't. I do this for different reasons, okay? I'm going to show the sunset up here. Wait for distribution. Regardless, it makes zero difference to me. It makes zero difference. Distribution, zero difference. So when I go to a little festival, if I don't even know if I'm going to even go to Austin, but if I go to anything and I hear distribution, I'll walk out. I was like, this is not, and I've gotten to the age where I do that. I just don't listen. I'll walk out. Because, hey, distribution is either there or it's not. It's not talked about. And you know, those guys, you know, it's even more dangerous is when they're like, yeah, this is good. This is going to work. And you're like waiting around for distribution. Just look, know that your film is good. Stay alive. Do your work. And go to bed at night knowing that you're going to cut your film. You're going to do the best that you can do to your knowledge and give out your story. And just know that that's good enough. And that's good enough, you know. I do a lot of this for me as much as you, but you have to realize that is good enough, not only for God, but for everybody else. There's only so much money that can go around. Let them enjoy their new cars. They don't enjoy it. Let them enjoy their fancy food. They don't enjoy their fancy food. Let them enjoy their big mansion. They don't enjoy their big mansion. Let them enjoy their beautiful marriage. They don't enjoy their marriage. They can't. It's been taken from them. It was taken from them a long time ago. Now, make your films and enjoy your marriage with your beloved. Whoever that may be. Enjoy it. Don't let them rob you. One last thing I want to say about Ingmar Bergman was that towards the end, he went to Ingmar Bergman Island and he began to retire. He watched 4 movies a day, one in the morning, one in mid or late afternoon, or I think, no, it was one in mid-afternoon, and then one late afternoon, and then one dinner, like around dinner time. It was a few movies a day. He had a huge library. So in his retirement, he enjoyed the thing that he created. He watched all different types of movies. He was insulted by the critics towards the end. He was known as pretentious, which they all go through. And he enjoyed his retirement, and then he passed away. He got a little crazy before the end, and he had a beautiful life That's what we were seeing in the cinema. We were seeing a version of Bergman's Beautiful Life in the cinema. Daniel, his son, made 2 good movies, and I think he's made a few more. But his son, Daniel, I personally got to see his son's, Daniel Bergman's, what's called Sunday's Child. I got to see it in Dallas. My friend Rob, who's a playwright, resident, Rob and I went there to the movie theater. Really weirdo projection. Had this, 2 weirdo projectionists had this weird movie theater, a little small movie theater. I've never seen anything like it. Rob and I went there. I think it was even on a Sunday, and we listened to the projectionist talk about this rare reel of film that was being passed around movie theater to movie theater, and we watched it, and it was great. And that was his son's work, which was like recapturing a beautiful moment of Daniel Bergman's perspective of Ingmar Bergman. Whether Bergman was an atheist or not does not matter. We don't know that. We don't know the heart of a man. Only God does. But those things happened, and God loved him, allowed him to be this great thing, and it really happened. So I recommend Sunday's Child. It's Daniel Bergman. It's his son. It's a film. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Just like that sun right there. Friend Rob and I were lovers of the cinema, especially when we were younger. And we enjoyed a lot of movies. One thing, his dad's passed away, but his dad was a great guy and was funny, just like Rob is. And we were watching, some European film on a tube television. It was probably Bergman or something. And his dad came in. Why don't y'all go and get a beer? Let's sit around watching movies, because if we went out in a beer, we'd like meet some women, and we just like watching movies. And then we would make these little short films and stuff, and kind of laugh about things, and then we'd laugh at other filmmakers. Well, I won't say indie, do-it-yourself filmmakers do the same. It's terribly, terribly difficult. It's like creating a song. But you see these certain things that you do, and you're like, that's cool. I liked how that person did that, and blah blah blah. We had these 2 friends named Luke, and one was named Luke. He had crazy hair, and he would come out to Hip Pocket Theater, and with Toby, and Toby had this wandering eye and this crazy hair too. And Toby was terribly funny. He could just look at you and you'd laugh. He was that kind of funny. But he was terribly, terribly funny. Both of them were funnier than Saturday Night Live, 100%. We would laugh at them all day. They had a little video camera and a horse. They would do I think Luke would ride naked on the horse, and they like film it or something. It was really weird. They were making like these Monty Python kind of comedies. And Johnny, who is this mime, he's artistic director, he kicked them out of the theater because they were trying to film BVD, Girls from Girdleville Greet Men in BVDs. And it was very funny. Of course, it wasn't funny to them because Johnny actually told them to leave, and Johnny would have thrown them out. Because Johnny was a pretty strong guy. He was, he'd been a mime and a dancer. But they wanted to film it. I wish Johnny would have let them. Girdleville was great. But you know how people get, they get territorial and private. And he just didn't. There is a secret to theater and an aspect of film. There's a secret to it. There's a secret in its kind of mystery. Beautiful aspect to this theater, and the fact, I've been to so many different theater shows. Probably done about 50 of them, where they say no photography, sometimes no flash photography, at least it's dress rehearsal, and no video. And I think that's how Johnny was at the time. Many were. I think, what was the guy's name? Lynn Murray from UT Austin. He was the head of UT Austin theater department. He was big about that. No flash photography, no video, because the mystery of the theater show is in the fact that it's a theater show. And it's not captured on video, but they do capture their stuff. Hip Pocket captures their stuff on digital. They do digital video of it, and it'll be great. It's great to see all his stuff. Johnny Simon's stuff is great. All his stuff, VHS, the stuff that he has on video, the stuff that he has digitally. all of it's genius. It's genius. Will it be distributed? Yeah, it probably will be distributed, but it's going to be done in a careful way. And I don't know if Johnny is going to be around when it happens, and Johnny knows that. But Johnny, being a mime and also an artistic director of the theater, knows to keep it in a certain way, to protect it. And he used to do that, so he still does it. He's allowed to film it, but it's not right for another person, not without permission. And, you know, and I've got another friend that's a mime that's out in New York, Greg. He's a Broadway star mime, and he would probably be the same, but he welcomes video and stuff, you know. Marcel Marceau, of course, probably was careful a little bit. And they've got great stuff on Beep. Marcel Marceau, if you go to Red Skeleton and look it up on YouTube. I used to watch it all the time. I put a little pocket, a little category of Marcel Marceau just to see, you know, where I can watch this new type of theater and see Marcel Marceau, you know, do his thing. And Red Skeleton made sure that that happened. So there are people out there that will make sure things happen, you know, a certain way, in a certain fashion. You don't just go into a theater and just start filming. Every filmmaker would love to do that, but you don't do that. Not without asking permission of the director in the theater and making mints with everybody so that things are done in a certain way. Because theater is ritualistic. It's done in a certain way. You know, it's a way of respecting the artist too. You know, Salvador Dali was walking around. He just stuck a camera in his face, just went to town. You know, or messed up his painting. Look at this dog right here. They just stick their head out like that. It's so funny. Yeah, see, they always do that. Every time I film them, they'll kind of, they react. You know, she's touching his nose. He's like, he knows. He knew the camera was on. The dogs have a sixth sense. They know sometimes. There are film dogs. And then there's film cats too. Edmund, it took a while for me to break in Edmund, you know, to be like, Edmund, it's okay for the camera to be in your face. He's used to it now. He purrs and all kinds of stuff. But the dogs know. And it's like they're respectful to their owners. And they'll stick their head out of the window, and I'll start filming, and they'll take their head out of the window, and they'll go to another window or something. It happens. It's weird. It's mysterious, and it's weird. I don't know how. They can hear the sound of it, you know, the sound of the camera going on. And because it makes a little beep. And it makes a little beep sound. So, anyway. That dog is so funny. They're all like that. Now, some of the dogs that I have filmed, they will keep their head out of the window for a while. That's called a film dog. And they'll just sit there and their tongues will be, you know, doing all that, you know, all that kind of stuff. All right, about 20 minutes, gonna pick up a Tuscan salad, or Tuscan salad, I don't know, Tuscan salad or something, and a chopped salad. I wonder what the itchy worms are. It's a tour right here. The Itchy Worms Tour 2023. There's the marquee. This is also a church and for private events. And that's Patron's Tacos and Burritos and Quesadillas and probably pretty good taco truck. This is also something right here. Alpha Delta Psi presents. It's pretty cool. Campisi's where the salad is coming from. Campisi's Italian restaurant, 1946. They're run by the mom in the 60s. That's what it says on the thing. I don't know if it's true or not. Some book is written about, I don't know if it's about Campisi's, but It's like from the 1960s, I think. The book inside here, it talks about the JFK assassination. Supposedly the mob were involved. And then 1946 is when it was established. I think, you know, I have no proof that the mob was even ever involved with Campisi's, but that's what they talked about in the 60s. But their pizza is actually very gourmet kind of pizza. So it's fancy pizza, and they've got like a really great environment inside. It's kind of a fancy place, so if you're going to take your woman out or something, you want to take them to Campisi's because they've got class and good salads, good pizza, spaghetti. I took Linda here once. Really nice. Listen to T for the Tillerman. Sad Lisa. It's such a great song. Note to musical theater artists that also watch the show for Pussykitty. We take Sad Lisa Lisa, replace it with Sad Kitty Kitty. Sad Kitty Kitty. Do, 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 do. This is exactly, get the copyright for Pussykitty. Da, 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 da. He's singing to his cat. Sad kitty kitty. Lyrics works exactly the same. We've already done it. Note to Pussykitty, the musical. Now for Cool Looking Trees. If you know anything about T for Tillerman, you'd be laughing right now. But T for Tillerman, one of my all-time top albums, if not the best, other than Pink Floyd The Wall. But we could take Lisa Lisa and just put Kitty in the place of Lisa. Sad kitty kitty. It's about the cat, and he's sad because he's looking out the window. He wants to be with his lover. Just replace the, use the same type of music. Very similar. We might could get away with it. We might can. May have to pay a little money to the Cat Steven group. But it would work in a musical, definitely. Love that album. Love that album. T for Tillerman. Great album. Now, a place where ducks hang out. Look how beautiful. This is when the cinema comes in. So we can stabilize the shot. There we go. Insert Sad Lisa Lisa right here. Sound-wise. We're gonna hit a bump. You can smell the lake. And it smells like catfish. Getting verklempt. Ooh, cat. Good thing we're going right. That cat could be full black. And that means superstition. According to superstition. Lisa, Lisa, sad Lisa, Lisa. Looks like big birthday party happening. They got themselves an ATV. All kinds of fun. I don't know why the trees grow so magnificent here in this area off of Middle Road and Spring Hill Road, but they do. All around this whole area, this neighborhood, the trees here are magical. I don't know why though. Maybe some type of miracle grow that they just spread to one tree to the other and made all the trees magnificent. There must be a reason for it all. Look at this. Right here. Imagine Bergman in a private screening room in heaven, and he finds the Please Subscribe show on YouTube. And this is kind of funny, he says. This guy's talking about me. He's talking about me, God. He's talking about me. When God had to dig him out of hell because he was so interested. Well, I'm gonna go home and work on another page. This is Steven, which I'm picturing Bob Odenkirk playing the role of Steven. Either here or after. Regardless, that's what I'm picturing. My hero is probably my favorite actor other than Gary Oldman. A few others. I like the AW. Can't remember his name. Of course, he's a Christian actor. He's Even Kill. He would even be good too. A.W. White. A.W. White is a Christian actor. He's very good. He's Even Kill. He's a great guy. Pretty good looking guy. He'd be good too for Steven. Bob's too busy, I know, because Bob's got a lot on his plate. Both would work. I could read both of them. A.W. probably needs to work. But it would be nice to have Bob. But I'm thinking of Bob, because Bob Odenkirk's great to think of when you're writing. And regardless, lots of trees. I think I went into a circle. Yes, I did. I went into a circle. Bob could also play the bulldog. I think he'd be good as Steven if I could choose. If I had my way, Bob Odenkirk as Steven, but that's, Escape from Maine. AW could play the bulldog too, or AW, what he could do, believe it or not, is he could play the pastor of the church of that church, Gateway, and Gateway's in. I'm about to go to another circle. Gateway Pentecostal is in Newport. I'm gonna try going left. And A.W. White could play the pastor there, the Pentecostal pastor. That'd even be better. And you keep Bob Odenkirk as Steven, because everybody's different. So yeah, you're still on board Bob Odenkirk for Steven. I'm gonna go home and write that. I gotta take good old Linda to Walmart. Now I'm still listening to T for the Tillerman. Lisa, Lisa, sad Lisa, Lisa, dee 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 dee. Kitty, kitty, sad kitty, kitty. I'll try this road right here, Brant's See, this one will lead me back. Oh, wow. No, we're taking advantage of that shot. Saw something here. The thing about film is the marvel of film is in its vision, in its visual. Boomer generation? Generation X. Boomer generation? Generation X. Boomer generation? That's what they want to see, the boomers? And that's Generation X. See the difference? Lisa, Lisa, sad Lisa, Lisa. Comes from their generation is the word failure. There's no success like failure, and failure is no success at all. Don't listen to that. Erase that. There's no success like success, and success is success. Their generation didn't work. They took, and they kind of smiled about it. Your generation gives. Your generation will give sacrificially. Their generation will take until the day they die. That's all they know. So you will give sacrificially. And that's success. When I was a kid and I'd go to the fair with my dad, or haunted house or something, I always felt like things were rushed. The bumper cars were bumping too hard and jerky, and things were rough, and it was just violence, kind of, even though it wasn't really, it was just a fair, like a fair you go to, because they saw that on television. They saw the Vietnam War on television. They saw what life could be like, the violence, the horror, and they had to live with that, and that translated to us. We didn't really see the 40-year war, not really, unless you see Catherine Bigelow's bad hurt. People, media that went over there were killed and stuff. It was very dangerous to try to capture that war. They saw it from a distance. But the Vietnam War, the media was in the jungle with them. Francis Ford Coppola wanted to go to Vietnam to make Apocalypse Now. They wouldn't let him. That goes to show how that war was covered and how it sunk into the minds of the baby boomers. The boomers, this is not for the boomers. You will not take from me. You'll try, but I will not allow it to happen. I'll put my foot down. I'm doing that now and exposing your selfishness. You will learn to die, because you have to learn to die. That's what you need to do now. It's hard, but it happens to all of us. I am approaching 50 years old, and I am going to start a career for the first time in my life. When most people of your generation started their careers in their 20s, I will start my career at 50. You will not be going into retirement, boomer. You'll be going into death. Where I go, doesn't matter. because where you're going is what's called non-existence. It's hard to hear, but it's true. And I will be starting my career as you go into non-existence. Now, if you believe in Jesus and you want to go to heaven, that's fine. Then go there. But there is a time for me to put my foot down. I'm not worried about your military, your money. I don't care about your government. We'll start a new one. 100% sure. Because that is where we are in a country. We'll start new laws. In the future, I will ban your child support chainery. Your child support's there to put chains on spiritual fathers that may have made a vow of poverty. And I will end your cruel law that Gerald Ford, the satanic person, created. I will end that law. Your job is to go into non-existence. If you want to go to Jesus, then have fun. Then go there. Your time is over. Mine will begin in the 50s. Now, it happened to Leonard Cohen. He started his career in his 50s. No, his generation, the previous generation, held him down for so long, probably because he was a little slow. But I'll start my career in the 50s. I'll eventually retire on my island. I'll be told to do the same one day. But now you know your job. All right. Hello, my beautiful wife. Hello. Here, come here.
She got something on his fur.
Here, come here. Give me a kissy. There's Kitty. There's my beautiful wife.
I talked to what did I do right?
Just give me a second. We'll get to this in a minute. Lisa, 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 Lisa.